What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And today it hits just a little bit different, and I just want to say thank y'all for the support and coming through. Now look, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen today, I put together a very special build today. Now I'm going to be calling it the 4-way paint specialist build, but it's actually going to come out to a slashing paint beast type of power forward. Now with this build, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be one of the most special builds when it comes down to the 4 position, and I'm saying that because we're going to be able to start off rip with a good amount of 99 overall stats. So look, when it comes down to the actual animations, we're going to be able to get elite contact dunks out of this build, standing contact dunks, but that's really just a start, because when it comes down to our animations as far as the attributes, we're going to be able to get a 100 plus when it comes down to these attributes. Our driving layup and dunk, standing dunk, interior defense, steal, block, and the both of our offensive and defensive rebound. Now this build, it really reminds me of Zion Williamson, and there's definitely different ways that you can go about the creation today. But look, I just want to say, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, man, I would really appreciate more than anything right now if you went ahead and commented down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. Just to give y'all a little bit of insight right now, I'm honestly going through a little bit of health issues when it comes down to my body. I'm getting surgery soon when it comes down to my legs possibly, and I just want y'all to know that whatever comes forward, I'm going to continue to drop y'all this content. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the creation of this build. So the first thing that we need to make sure that everybody is doing today is that we put this build out of the power forward position. Now when it comes down to the body settings, this is going to be the most important thing going forward with today's build. So as you can see, I'm going to go with the height of 6'7" today. When it comes down to our weight, I decided to go with 242. And then as for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'4" with the body shape of burly. Now as we go forward with the breakdown of the animations and attributes, just be sure to follow along each and every single step of the way. So let's get started when it comes down to our physicals. As for the speed, I decided to go ahead and put this up to a 76. Now when it comes down to our acceleration, put this to a 68. 82 when it comes down to our strength, and then as for when it comes down to the vertical, I decided to go with an 86. Now for the stamina, I decided to go with the 99, and I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a really toxic build all around, especially for the finishing as well as the defensive end. Now you can really consider this to be a slashing paint beast when you look at this build when it's created. As far as when it comes down to the defense, I'm going to go with the defensive rebound maxed out all the way to a 99. Now when it comes down to our offensive rebound, I'm going to go with the perfect 90. Now as for the block, I'm going to go all the way up to an 87. 83 when it comes down to our steal, and I think that both of these numbers are really working out, especially when it comes down to how we're going to be able to play defense. So when it comes down to the perimeter, I'm going to go with the 49, and then for the interior, put this up to a 93, and right there we're going to be all set to move forward. Now as you can see, when it comes down to this build, we get 25 total defensive badges. Now the ones that I like are box out beast, also post lockdown, workhorse with rebound chaser, but I think anchor, chase down artist, and glove and interceptor are really worthy to look at. Now when it comes down to the shooting, how I'm going to go about this build is first go with an 81 when it comes down to our free throw. Now as for the 3-point shot, I'm going to go with the 70, and I really think this makes up for a whole lot, especially when it comes down to this area. Now when it comes down to our mid-range, go with the 57. We get a total of 7 shooting badges. Now I know for a fact that the finishing and the defense will make up for this later down the road, but as you can see, with these 7 badges we still get amped. We're also going to be able to get midi magician. I like volume shooter, also space creator on silver, and then if you want to add extra badges towards this area, you can definitely do so. Now when it comes down to the finishing, max out your standing dunk all the way to a 99. Same thing when it comes down to our driving dunk. And then as for the layup, I'm telling y'all, this build is super toxic on the finishing end. Go with the 94, 75 for the close shot, and right there we get a total of 24 finishing badges. Now as you can see, a majority of these will be on Hall of Fame. I like Acrobat, Pro Touch. We also get Rise Up and then Aerial Wizard, Fast Twitch with Posterizer of course, Silver Bully, Limitless Takeoff, and Slithery. Now I really think that this is going to be one of the best two-way builds, especially if you're taking this build into the 1v1 courts. Now whether or not you're taking this into the 2s or even the rec, I think it's going to be perfect. Now I've shown y'all in the past how you can dribble with a build that has no ball handle, and I think this is going to fall into that category of being one of the more skillful builds, but it's really going to be a build that I feel like anybody can pick up and use and find success with, especially with the way that I decided to build it today. Now with the takeovers, we get the rim protecting and glass cleaning. Now the ones that I like best when it comes down to this build, first is going to be paint intimidation. The second one, I'm going to go ahead and say see the future takeover, and I think this is going to be the best option to start with. Now do take into consideration the +4 that you get from running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general, the extra +4 to 5 from buying your own boost, and then the additional boost that we're also going to get from playing better. And then when you take into account the +10 towards 2 separate takeovers, makes a huge difference on the defense with this build. So let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that we made the build correctly. And if you followed along every single step of the way, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, together, we were able to create the 4-way Paint Specialist, also known as the Catfish Paint Beast build, in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now let me know down below in the comments, what did y'all think about this build? Did you make it exactly how I brought it to y'all, or did you recreate your own version? Now moving forward, make sure that you add up all of the boosts that I did just mention. And now from here, when it comes down to this build, you're really going to be able to see the true potential of what we can do. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badge layout. Now when it comes down to these badges for the finishing, first I'm going to go with Bronze Pro Touch, Silver, Slithery, Gold Fearless Finisher with Hall of Fame Posterizer, Core Limitless Takeoff, and Rise Up. Now if you want to, throw 2 extra badges into the finishing for my career, and we're going to be able to unlock Slithery on the Hall of Fame tier, and you possibly may be able to even get Bully down the road. Now for the shooting, I went with Bronze Amped, Midi Magician, Green Machine with Silver Volume Shooter, and Core Space Creator. Now these are going to be the jump shots that we can pick from. Now if you add boost towards this build, I think we're definitely going to be able to move forward and find success out of this area. As for when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm just going to go with Core Ankle Breaker. And then for the defensive end, I like Box Out Beast on Hall of Fame, Rebound Chaser with Gold Chase Down Artist, Silver Core Interceptor with Bronze Glove, Silver Anchor, and Bronze Post Lockdown. Now this is how the build is going to be looking today. Let me know down below, what did y'all think about the creation? And I just want to say thank y'all for the support and making it this far into the video. Now if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button and turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.